Hi everybody, welcome back to Leah's Library. Today I've chosen 3 very fun and special books as kind of a welcome back video. These are 3 really great books that I found at our local library. And I know it's been a little while since I've done a video, and I'm really excited to be able to be back in the studio now. So I hope you enjoy these 3 books. The first one is called Library Mouse by Daniel Kirk. The second one is called Fraidyzoo by Thyra Heder. And the last one is called King Bidgood's in the Bathroom, written by Audrey Wood and illustrated by Wood. As always, I'll put the titles of these books and the authors and the illustrators' names in the comments below, so you can always take that information to your local library and check these books out on your own. So let's start off with, let's do Fraidyzoo. Fraidyzoo by Thyra Heder. There's their house. Wake up, little T! Today is the perfect day for the zoo! She looks a little nervous. To the zoo we go! Come on, hurry up, hurry up! We could be the first ones there! What if there is a new monkey? I think she's a little excited to go to the zoo, don't you? So, what if someone was afraid of going to the zoo? What? What are you afraid of? I can't remember. It's okay, little T. We won't go until you've got it all figured out. Let's take a guess. Does it start with an A, like an alligator? Or a B, like a bull? Or C? No, it's not one of those. What does that animal look like? That starts with a C. It's got a hump in the middle of its back. A camel. Look, they put socks on to look like camel's feet. Does it jump in the road like a deer? Can it give itself a shower? Look, she put bags on her ears to look like big elephant's ears. E for elephant. Maybe it's pink, like a flamingo. F for flamingo. Or very, very tall? No, not that tall. Or maybe a a hyena? Trying to gobble up his little girl. Does it live in the tropics? Like a lizard? Or gloop through the ocean like a jellyfish? Does it hop with a pocket like a kangaroo? Does it roar like a lion? Is it a monkey? No, silly. I'm braver than that. Is it one of those whales with a horn? No. Owls in towels? Ha! Squawk! Not afraid of those. I'm not afraid of those. Squawk! Not afraid of those. Like a parrot? Psst. Whoa! Is it a rhinoceros? Look at that puppet they made. That is magnificent. Nope, she says. Slither like a snake. Still not afraid, she says. You are extinct, she says, and you don't exist. A Tyrannosaurus Rex or a unicorn. How about something like, I want to go to the zoo? A bat? A vampire bat? Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. How about a worm? Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. A xanthus. What's that? I think it's a yak. Ugh, how do we make a yak? Ta-da! Look, they used all those jackets to be like the yak's shaggy fur. They make big horns out of paper and cardboard. What about a zebra? I'm not afraid of any of this. So, what if somebody wanted to go to the zoo? Then tomorrow is the perfect day for it. Nighty night. Sleep tight. There they are, on their way to the zoo. Sister like a monkey on the dad's back. Here she is, about to get her ticket. First time at the zoo. Tickets? That's the ticket lady. Wow, and she has these really long red nails. And she likes a lot of color. They've never seen anybody like that before. Ah! The sister runs away. They went back home. Look, there's all the shrapnel of all the animals that they made. And look what they did for the other sister. They made a puppet of the lady who worked at the ticket desk with her big eyelashes and her bright red lips and her long red nails. Playing a game sometimes makes you feel not afraid of something anymore. Tickets, please, she's saying. Tickets, please. Oh, and then they went back again and they took a photograph with the ticket lady, faced their fears, and then they went to the zoo. I love this story because I really like how creative they all got with the animals. And they used stuff from around the house to create these puppets. And I love how supportive the whole family was of the little girl's curiosity about trying to figure out what she might be afraid of. This is such a great book. And the illustrations are some of my favorite. Okay, next we're going to read, Library Mouse. There he is. Library Mouse by Daniel Kirk. Sam was a library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books, and he thought that life was very good indeed. Every day, when the library was full of people walking up and down the aisles, studying, checking out books, and working on the computers, Sam was curled up in his little hole, sound asleep. Every night, when the people went home and the room was dark and quiet, he had the library to himself. The library belonged to Sam. And every night Sam read, and he read, and he read. Sam read picture books and chapter books. He read biographies and poetry, cookbooks and sports books and fairy tales and ghost stories and mysteries by the dozen. Sam's mind was filled with facts and information and images of faraway places, and his imagination brimmed over with wonder and fantasy. One night, Sam decided that it was time he wrote a book of his own. Sam folded over some little squares of paper he took from the librarian's desk to make the pages. Then he found a pencil that had rolled underneath a shelf, and he began to write. Write what you know, Sam had read in a book about writing, so Sam wrote about being a mouse. He drew the pictures of his book by posing in his little mirror and sketching what he saw. Sam worked very hard, and finally his first book was done. He called it Squeak, A Mouse's Life, and he wrote on the cover, Words and Pictures by Sam. He went to the autobiography section of the library, and he tucked his first book onto the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. Squeak, A Mouse's Life. Words and Pictures by Sam. The next afternoon, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a girl whose teacher had sent her to the library to do a book report. "I've never seen anything like this before," said the librarian, and she put Squeak, A Mouse's Life on her desk. Later, she showed it to the other librarians. Sam decided to write another book. It was called The Lonely Cheese, and working on the book made him feel very, very hungry. It was a good thing that he always found so many crumbs to eat by the trash basket in the hallway. When he had finished the illustrations, Sam scurried to the picture book section and proudly placed his latest book on the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall, and he waited. The Lonely Cheese by Sam. The next morning, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a little boy who was looking for a big book about trucks. "It's another book by Sam," said the librarian. "Just who is this Sam?" she thought to herself, and put The Lonely Cheese on her desk. Later, she showed it to the children at story time. Sam decided to write a chapter book. It was called The Mystery of Mouse Mansion, and it gave Sam goosebumps when he wrote down the scary parts. The full moon was shining down through the windows of the darkened library when Sam crept over to the mystery section, and he sneakily placed his book on the shelf. Then he went back to his little hole in the wall and waited. The next day, sunlight streamed in through the library windows. "What's this?" asked a teenager who was looking for a good, creepy book to read before bed. "We have got to find out who this Sam is," said the librarian. "I'll leave a note on the bulletin board and tell him that I would like to meet our new author." She put Mystery of Mouse Mansion in her desk, and later she showed it to the writing class that came in after school. That night, Sam found the note. It read, "Dear Sam, all of us at the library have been enjoying your books immensely. We are all wondering who this mysterious Sam really is. Whoever you are, you certainly have a lot of talent. Not everybody has it in them to write even a single book, let alone 3. We think it would be fun to have a Meet the Author Day with you as our special guest. The children would love to hear you read your books and share some of your secrets for writing. Yours truly, Mrs. Forrester, Head Librarian." Sam felt a little nervous. He was happy that the children at the library liked his books. He was flattered that they wanted to meet him. But mice, as a rule, are very shy when it comes to meeting people. Sam could not understand why people thought that writing and making up stories was so hard. If only they would try it, they might find out that writing was really a lot of fun. Sam had an idea. He went to the librarian's desk and got some supplies. All night long he wrote and drew and snipped and folded and stapled his little rectangles of paper into mouse-sized books. In the morning, when the librarian opened up the children's room, there was a sheet of paper taped to the door. "Meet the author today," it read. A little girl was the first to see Sam's display, all set up at the front table. "What is this?" she asked. There sat a tissue box, with a pair of pencils taped to the sides and a banner stretched across the top. On the banner was written, "Meet the author," with an arrow pointing down. The girl bent over to look into the empty tissue box. "Oh!" she said in surprise, for there at the bottom of the box lay Sam's little mirror. And in the mirror, the little girl saw her own face smiling up at her. "Me?" she thought. "An author?" Next to the mirror was a stack of tiny little blank books and a pile of pencils that Sam had sharpened with his little teeth. All that day, and for many more thereafter, people came into the little display to meet the author. Soon there was a whole shelf full of books written and illustrated by people who had never written a book before, telling stories that had never been told. I see one that says, When I Grow Up, The Perfect Pet, Zip and Zoom, The Smartest Dog, The Adventures of Me, ABCs in the Library. Lots of different books the children are writing. Oops, let's fold that down a little bit. There we go. Sam was the library mouse. His home was in a little hole in the wall behind the children's reference books. All that night, Sam sat in his hole, thinking and thinking about the next book he would write. Would it be a mystery, an adventure, a funny book? How about a true story? There were so many stories to tell. Aha, he thought. I'll just have to write one of each. Sam picked up his pencil and he got to work. Nice job, Sam. Isn't that a fun book? Talks so much about how anybody can be an author and make up a story. Your story can be about anything that comes to your imagination, or it can be a story about something that you've already done. You just have to take the time to sit down and write it, and maybe draw some pictures. The last book we're going to read today is called King Bidgood's in the Bathtub. And these pictures are delightful. Illustrated by Wood. Written by Audrey Wood. We'll take a little bit of time with the pictures. It says, for Edwin Cook Brewer. Look at that boy. He is carrying a big, big bottle of water. Or I guess it's kind of a barrel. Help! Help! Cried the page when the sun came up. King Bidgood's in the bathtub, and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do? Look at all the ladies and the gentlemen of the court. They're shocked and surprised in all of their finery. He won't get out of the bathtub. I do, cried the knight when the sun came up. Get out! It's time to battle! Come in, cried the king with a boom, boom, boom. Today we battle in the tub. Look, they've got all their soldiers and boats and a big bridge like a castle wall. And there is the knight in his finery in the bathtub, and that hard-working page bringing more hot water. Now he's walking out, soaking wet. His plan didn't work, and everybody is shocked. Help, help, cried the page when the sun got hot. King Bidgood's in the bathtub, and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do? I do, cried the queen when the sun got hot. Get out! It's time to lunch. Come in, cried the king with a yum, yum, yum. Today we lunch in the tub. Look at that feast. Pies and cakes and turkeys. Oh, look at that cake with the king in the bathtub on the top. The page is bringing more food. And there is the queen in one of her best gowns, saying, "What will I do with this man?" But he is the king, and what the king says goes. And with her head held high, trying not to be embarrassed with how wet and soggy she is. The people are shocked. "Help, help," cried the page when the sun sank low. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub, and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do?" "I do," cried the Duke when the sun sank low. "Get out! It's time to fish." "Come in," cried the king with a trout, trout, trout. Today we fish in the tub. Look at that. They brought in turtles and lily pads and trout, trout, trout. There he is in all of the reeds. And that boy is catching a fish. And all of his fine ruffles are soggy indeed, and he has a little fish to show for it. His stockings are sinking, his frilly boots are floppy. How embarrassing! There's the other court members digging in a trunk. "Help, help," cried the page when the night got dark. "King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do?" "We do," cried the court when the night got dark. "Get out for the masquerade ball." "Come in," cried the king with a jig, jig, jig. Look at all their costumes. Flowers and jesters. And that ship hat. There's a swan. Tonight we dance in the tub. Oh! When the king says we dance in the tub, then they dance in the tub. Look at them all trying to have a party in the bathtub. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, 7 people. And the king is happily dancing away in the bubbles. And the page is done. He's over it. "Help, help," cried the court when the moon shone bright. King Bidgood's in the bathtub and he won't get out. Oh, who knows what to do? Who knows what to do? I do, said the page when the moon shone bright. And then he pulled the plug. And they all thought, oh, well, yes, I suppose that probably was a good idea. Oh, look at that surprised king. Bath time is over, Your Majesty. With a glub, glub, glub. Off he sneaks. Can you imagine having a bathtub that big, first of all? And can you imagine all day long in the bathtub, more and more hot water being brought to you, fish, plants, your feast? Oh, the life of a king. What a fun book that is. Well, thank you again, everyone. It's nice to be back. Again, our books today were Library Mouse by Daniel Kirk, King Bidgood's in the Bathtub, written by Audrey Wood and illustrated by Dawn Wood, and Fraidyzoo by Thyra Heder. Like I said, I will put all that information down below, so if you'd like to take the titles to your local library and look up the books, ask for help if you need it. And I'll see you again next time, guys. Thanks. Have a great day.